Technology, we have 16 schools from around the country, many in Ohio, but many in other places, who are tied into the conference, and I want to just quickly announce who they are. We have Lions Creek Middle School in Coconut Creek, Florida, Mid-Park High School in Middleburg Heights, Ohio, Ayersville High School in Defiance, Ohio, Founders Hall Middle School in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, Suffern Middle School in Suffern, New York, Broad Creek Middle School in Newport, North Carolina, Warrensville Heights High School in Warrensville Heights, Ohio, Pittsburgh Carmelt in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, R.T. Cream Family School in Camden, New Jersey, Heritage Middle School in East Cleveland, Ohio, KSU Stark Campus in North Canton, Ohio, Lorraine High School in Lorraine, Ohio, Driftwood Middle School in Hollywood Hills, Florida, Shaw High School in East Cleveland, Ohio, Payne Point Middle School in Camden, New Jersey, and Summer Creek High School in Houston, Texas. So let's give all of them a round of applause. We have 150 people or so in the room and several hundred who are tied in by teleconference. And I particularly want to acknowledge the schools that are with us in the room. And feel free to give a little shout out when I name your school. I understand we have some students here from John Adams High School. Do we have anybody here from John Hay football? And we have James F. Rhodes football. Martin Luther King Jr. High Steppers. And last but certainly not least, we have the Whitney Young football cheerleaders. All right, I'm going to remind you on the teleconference, if you will mute your mics again, please. As I said a few moments ago, the purpose of today's program is to enable each student here to hear from and ask questions of the members of this panel. Bobby Mitchell was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and he currently resides in Washington, D.C. with his lovely wife, Gwen. When Bobby was your age and about to graduate from high school, he was such a good athlete that he was offered a contract to play professional baseball with the St. Louis Cardinals. He declined that offer because he wanted to go to college. And he did go to college, and he played football as a halfback at the University of Illinois. Mr. Mitchell was obviously very successful in football, but he was also successful in track and obviously baseball. He set a track record, the indoor world record, in the 70-yard low hurdles with a 7.7 mark. Mr. Mitchell had plans to compete in the 1960 Olympics in track. However, in 1958, Cleveland Browns coach Paul Brown convinced him that he should pursue a pro football career. And obviously, Bobby had great success in his pro football career here at Cleveland Browns, as well as the last second season.
It's better to give than to receive is so important as you move through life. The thing that I think all of us have in common here, the four of us, is the fact that we have seen and we have done things in our lives that help other people, and that is what's most rewarding, and that's what we want to share here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm awful glad to be here. My road to this point is pretty crazy. I was born in the South, in Arkansas. And my senior year, I didn't know if I was going to further my education, a big cut for the rest of my life. And it's interesting how things happen. The next thing I knew, I had been offered a scholarship. Obviously, my family had no money. And I'm on the caboose of a train heading north. And the only person in that part of the train was me by myself.
Well, I'd like to echo what these gentlemen said too, and I agree that we have achieved things on the shoulders of people who have gone before us, and that's so true. When I look out here, it reminds me of many years ago when I was your age, and someone who had accomplished some things that took the time to share with us on how they got to those points, and that's really why we're here today. It's just, when I think about all the things that I had to go through and all the things that I learned, I want to share that with you. My grandfather was a big influence on me, and he taught us through cliches, and he always had a saying for everything. One of the things he used to always say is, a trick untried is never justified. And in the minds of those men who never tried, the most they can ever do is wonder. And I used to quote that all the time, not really knowing what it meant. And when I first started out in sports, I was told I was too small. And my lesson in that is, if you want to be a lawyer, teacher, doctor, whatever it is that you want to be, you to find out what you need to do to become that. But don't let someone tell you that you can't be that.
Now, I want to offer an opportunity for you to ask a question. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to start with a question? Anything that you'd like to know about any of these individuals? I see two young ladies in the back. We'll go with the young lady over here first, and then I think she said, how did you handle racism and or unfair teammates and coaches? Who would like to start with that? Racism and or unfair teammates and coaches.
If you leave home with some values from mom and dad, aunt and uncle, grandma, for some reason, you always kind of make the right move. When things first come to you, you don't know what you're going to do because you're not experienced. Just handling people who are so far ahead of you in these types of things. Because when I arrived at the university, I obviously couldn't room with any white students. I couldn't even room with any white players. Not only that, I was not in the brick buildings. I was in buildings that was called parade ground units that they've used for the military.
You to see and understand, and I know that most of the particular football players are very much in tune with the fact that Bobby Mitchell is Hall of Famer and a great player. But I want you to understand what happened in '62 here. Bobby, all of us had been together except Pruitt. Pruitt's the youngest group of the group here. But the point we want to make is that when the decision was made that Bobby Mitchell was going to go to the Redskins, now the Washington Redskins in our nation's capital was the only team that did not have any black players. And Mitch is Bobby Mitchell, as we call him Mitch, is going to have to go down there and become the first black player. They had long been against this in terms of the Washington Redskins. As a matter of fact, when we would play down there, the thing that would get us riled up the most was that they would play Dixie. That was their big theme song, Dixie. Wish I Was in Dixie, Land of Cotton and so forth. And that became our fight song. And I'm not sure, I don't think they ever beat us during that time. But the whole point is, the relationships are so important in your life. People that you trust and people that care about you. People that care about you. People that care about you are not going to ask you to do something that can jeopardize your life and your career. People that care about you simply won't do that. So that's why you'll be able to measure, because relationships is something that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Okay?
Thanks.
Cleveland Browns is just so important in my life. In terms of what our lives was about when we were here as players. Cleveland was so far ahead of the rest of the league in the way it treated its black players, until that still resonates in my mind today. And that's why we were happy to come back and participate in the Black History program, because Cleveland was so far ahead of the rest of the league in what it did and how it did it with its black players.